So this is my method for drawing a three-dimensional cube. So the first thing to start off with is a vertical line. Vertical is really easy, you know if it's straight and vertical on your paper, and that's a really good starting off point. So don't worry how long it is at the moment. So from there, the next thing we're going to look at, and this line is going to represent the edge of the box which is nearest to you. And then we're going to look at this angle here to get in the base of the box, the left-hand base of the box. So if you think about it as that as a right angle, whereabouts on that right angle does the line come? So for me, I can see a bit less of this side of the box, and that line's going to come about there. Again, don't worry too much at the moment how long the line is. Then we're going to do the other angle. I can see a bit more of this side of the box, so this angle is a bit flatter. I'm going to bring it out about there. And then we're going to look at this vertical line, so the upright of the left hand of the box. Now this is where I'm going to set the scale. So if I say that this is going to be the height of the box, you now want to determine how far away this vertical is from this vertical. So if you want to, you can measure. So you can, if you hold your arm out at arm's length, close one eye, and if you do it this way, you can line up the point of your pencil with the top of the box, this point here, move your thumb down so that your thumb then is lined up with this point, and then you turn it around, you line up this point with here, and then you see where this vertical line comes on that scale. So for me, that vertical comes at about that point. And of course we don't have to worry about that angle, that just sets itself. And then I'm going to do the same for this side of the box. So this side of the box, as I say, this angle's a bit shallower. I can see more of this side. So the line here is a little bit further away. I'm going to put it in about there. Right, now the next thing we're going to look at is this angle here. So we want to get this line marked in. And the key thing to remember is, if I do a little sketch, this line and this line, at some point, you might think, oh, I'll just make them parallel. And from this distance, when you're drawing something that's quite close to you, they are roughly parallel. However, the key thing to remember is, at some point, those lines need to be able to meet, because that's what's going to create two-point perspective. So those lines at some point, even if it's way over there and way over there, the lines need to cross over to give you the sense of perspective. If you draw it in such a way that those lines will never meet, you see they're moving away from each other, your box is never going to look true. Okay, so I'm looking for this line here. It's roughly parallel because I'm sitting fairly close to it, but I'm just going to bring it down a little bit, and then I can join that up. And then we do the same here. So again, because I'm sitting quite close to the box, it's going to be roughly parallel, but I just want to make sure that I've brought it in a touch so that at some point, even if it's going to be way off the desk, they would cross over. Okay, so now we get to the really tricky bit, and the really tricky bit is the top of the box. This is the part where people really have problems. And the way that I think about it is, extend this line up here. So what we're looking for is we're looking for the opposite corner to this one. If you extend this line up, look at your box, and if you want to, hold a pencil up so that you're literally extending that line up with the pencil. Does this, the back corner, does it come to the left or the right of this one? Now mine comes to the right, and now you need to look at the distance from here to here. So if you're thinking about it just in terms of sort of almost like a grid, how long is that line? how much distance is there from here to the back corner. And my back corner is about, I'm going to put it about there, and then we can just join up the top of the box. The problem that I see most often is that this back corner becomes, it's either located in the wrong place or it's much too high, and so we get a sort of distorted perspective that we don't like look as though we're looking across the top of it. It sort of looms out towards the viewer. Okay, so this is your first point. That angle is number 2. This is number 3. This distance and this vertical line is number 4. That one's number 5. Then we look for this angle, and finally the back point.